A shadow has fallen across the world of Therion, for evil is upon us. For ages untold, the Serpent Riders were the stuff of legends, dark stories used to quiet unruly children. Who could have suspected that within these stories lay a dark and sinister truth? Years ago, on a world whose name is now forgotten, the Serpent Rider named Disparil descended upon the land. The legends tell of a single elf that gathered a powerful arsenal and assaulted the very stronghold of Disparil. This forgotten hero destroyed the serpent and purified his poisonous influence from the realm. Korax, the second Serpent Rider, set upon the world of Kronos with trickery and guile, perverting the leaders of the world to do his bidding. Fortunately, 3 brave souls fought their way through the twisted and decimated lands, ultimately destroying Korax. Now the darkness has come to Therion. Eidolon, the last and most powerful of the Serpent Riders, is ravaging our once peaceful world. In the evening before his arrival, a rain of fire fell from the heavens. Fearful, demoralized, and unable to regroup, the populace of Therion fell quickly before the dreaded march of Eidolon's vile golems, machinations created for only one purpose: destruction. The attack was skillfully executed, and all 4 continents had fallen by midday. Nothing was spared, and no one was safe from the merciless onslaught. It was a sad time for our once noble world, and many were forced into hiding to avoid death. Now, Therion huddles in fear. Eidolon sits gloating and untouched in his dark tower, with Therion in the grip of the Dark Generals. Famine, pestilence, war, death. They must all be defeated. Who will step forward and bring the reign of Eidolon to an end? Only time will tell.
The Necromancer spent his early years in a small village of Thysis, huddled in the shadow of a monolithic pyramid. His people were lean and wiry, but the Necromancer was thinner and weaker than most. He lived in a great cavernous house with only his aunt to mind him, his parents having died in a plague not long after his birth. An unattractive appearance and a lack of a family conspired against the Necromancer, robbing him of confidence and making him morbidly self-conscious. His days and nights were spent inside his aunt's decaying mansion, and rarely did he emerge. He longed for a power, any power, that would increase his stature in village society. He wished to be handsome, or strong, or wealthy, or clever in conversation. But as time wore on, and he grew from a lad to a young man, it became clear that he possessed none of these skills. Bitter and alone, the Necromancer's desire for acceptance slowly withered into hatred. He no longer wished to impress the villagers, but rather to frighten and punish them. His thoughts turned to the ancient pyramid that overshadowed the village. For the villagers, this monument was an object of superstitious dread. Seeking to partake of that power and dread, the young Necromancer entered the pyramid. Within, he found what he sought: a set of 10 crumbling papyrus scrolls, each inked with runes of great power. Through study and diligence, he learned the magic scribed therein, and soon began to terrorize the village with legions of undead servitors. But the coming of Eidolon quickly ended his reign of terror. No longer was the Necromancer dreaded by the villagers. Eidolon and his minions were now the focus of their dread. The Necromancer, it seemed, was no longer all-powerful. Bitter and enraged by the helplessness welling up from within, the Necromancer came to a desperate conclusion. Eidolon must not be allowed to steal his precious power. Eidolon must be destroyed. Welcome to my playthrough of Hexen 2 as the Necromancer on the Lich King Difficulty, played through FTEQW. Today, we are starting the playthrough, and we are starting off in the first level, because of course we are. We might have read the story and everything, but there's more reading to do the moment we press this button. But before that, we have to kill enemies immediately. So the Necromancer starts off with a sickle weapon, and its uses will be demonstrated later, but for now, we are going to read this. I am leaving messages in case I fail to destroy Eidolon. I begin in Castle Blackmarsh, where famine waits. I've heard strange rumors of an invincible crystal golem that protects the entrance to Famine's lair. Perhaps the King's mages know of a way to grant me the power to destroy it. I believe that the Brotherhood of Hunger may hold some clues, and knowing that I must acquire the Amulet of Hunger from the castle treasury. And that is from Tyrannith. Wonder how well his quest is going, but it matters not to us because we are the Necromancer, and we must destroy all that stand in our way. Yes. And look, a torch. And as you can tell, I am using Coward Lighting mods, and I'm using FTEQW, which is more suited for Quake, but it's also suited for this as well, and it has more options compared to the Hammer of Tharion port, which is why I'm not using that. But yeah, you want to hit this switch that's here, then you can go down into this area and meet one of these guys. And let's kill the spider first, otherwise we're gonna get torn apart. And make sure to jib these guys whenever you kill them with the sickle. You hear a door across the room open. It's that door over there. We'll find out how to get to that door later, but first we're going through the light to go back to where we were before. And moving down into this area. And to your right is another archer. Let's jib him. Grab the healing vials, because we gotta have those crystal vials in this game too. Jib this guy too, and also flip the switch. And look, we freed some rats, but we want to step here regardless. And perhaps break some of these. And look, there's a quartz flask. Perfect. Now let's kill this dude. And the spider cohorts. And now we're going to go up here and meet some new friends. Like a sheep. And of course, these guys are here too. Why wouldn't they be? But hey, there's magic missiles right here. But I'm not going to use those, not yet. There are bigger fish to fry with those missiles. And sometimes, these enemies will be eager to drop mana for your magic missiles. I'm still using the sickle on them. So I can absolutely destroy them with this thing. And you too. Think I care? I got the quartz flask, and I got sickles. So here's some mana, in case you need some more. I think that's all I need for the time being. We're not gonna bully the sheep, even though we totally could. But instead, we're going to go down into this area and bully this guy. You can crouch in this game too. By default, I have it set to control. Maybe you can set it to C or whatever. But either way, you can still crouch. So we have all the basic FPS controls finally. And here's a quartz flask down here. But we're gonna use it and meet this wizard dude who shoots angry skulls at you, kind of like the nitro golems. But we shot magic missiles at him, and at you too. And we got a healing vial out of this area, because there are 2 of them here. And in here are Disc of Repulsion. And you can also jib his clothes. Yeah, just like that. But anyways, let's go over and read this book. You need the bone dust of Lorik to complete the spell and create the potion of mithril transformation, huh? And it's pretty much the same as it read there. Alright. I'm willing to humor this. So let's go for a swim. Might get the book a little dusty, but that's fine. We're just going to press the switch to open this portal and go through it, and then get out and go through here, all while avoiding the spiders and archers. You probably want to kill these wizards immediately. Grab the amulet of protection too. And before we die, we can go over here and grab all this stuff. And I'm going to use this torch just to show off how bright things can get. All while jibbing the rest of these guys. Yeah, you can activate this door by going over here. But here's another sorcerer type. You fool, I'm the only sorcerer here, and I cast magic missile at you. I cast magic missile into the darkness. And I ran out of magic missiles, but that's fine. We can just kill him like that. But, watch out for some spiders, which may appear if he dies, but here are the bones of Lork. But we're just gonna fall down into here. Take a sip of this sippy juice. And we should be good. Now let's kill these spiders. Yeah, these small ones die rather quickly. But they're still formidable because they attack really fast. Now let's attack this guy really fast. And jib him. And now we can grab the bones of Lork. But we need to do something with the bones of Lork before we can make that potion. And I'll show you what. But before I even show you, I'm going to grab some more mana and get ready for future encounters. Also going to finish off some previous enemies. Good thing we saved this mana from earlier. And now we're going to go back down into here. Because now it's time for the final battle. Magic missile! Magic missile! And sickles for the rest of you. Jib you. Jib you. And you. You get magic missile. Magic missile. And you. You get the sickle, and we gained a level because, look, this game has XP, and it also gives you a chance to jib enemies and get blue mana. Once you've gained a level, you'll gain HP and more mana. Yeah, this has some very light RPG elements, but still a lot more than Hexen and Heretic. By the way, get a look at these gruesome displays. Failures, both of you. Well, we barely survived that encounter, but it's all for the greater good because we are going to go back into this area for a specific reason. We are going to go down here and through this portal be sent back into this part. And look, here's a healing vial. And here is the Barbican. If you want, you can destroy all these props. We don't need no book learning. Book learning's for nerds. I'm gonna do that right now. But we are going to end the video right here because in the next one, we are going into the Barbican. So stay tuned for that. But until then, toodaloo.